When you think of Disney, what do you think of? Magical princesses, daring adventures, and timeless romantic tales? Or perhaps crappy live-action movies and blatant plagiarism? Either way, you probably agree with one thing. Disney doesn't make movies like they used to. Because of this and other failings of teenage demographic shows and movies, anime has taken over the attention of Gen Z, teens, and young adults. So what happens when Disney decides to sink their hands into such a world? Historically, it bombed. Kalala Princess and Stitch aren't the best manga out there, despite what my nostalgia will make me say about Kalala Princess. But Disney did strike gold when they made a video game, Kingdom Hearts. So logically, they had to do that again. But this time with more hot anime characters. I want to warn you before I get too far into this that I know that there's kind of a lot of noise in this. I genuinely don't know how to fix that. If anyone knows how to fix that, please let me know. This is my first video. I'm just trying. I do have a small stutter and a speech impediment. So if you notice that while I'm talking, no you didn't. No you didn't. Anyways, on to the video. Twisted Wonderland is a narrative adventure JRPG where you play as, well, yourself. For the sake of ease, I'll be referring to the player as you, since that's the name they give us upon entering the game. You as in Y-U-U. Anyways, you play as you, a magicless human who wakes up in a coffin in a magical world where the Disney villains are respected as much as the heroes are. There's a school honoring them, with each dorm being based on a different villain. As you try to navigate this world and return to their own, they meet a plethora of characters and go on many adventures, and provide free therapy to all involved. Okay, maybe that last part was a little bit of a stretch, but if you played the game, you know exactly what I'm talking about. And you also know it's kind of a hard game to explain. I mean, a big part of the game itself is the fact each chapter has an overplot, but trying to explain what an overplot is in itself is a task. The game released in Japan on March 18th, 2020, and in America on January 20th of 2022. Now, when I was little, I really loved Descendants, and that led me into learning about and loving the Disney villain recruiters, which led me to finding fan art of Farja and Jamel, which led me to bootlegging the promotional manga for Twist that I can't find anywhere anymore. It was one chapter, and it gave super simple explanations for each character and stuff. I remember the Ignihide panel kind of looked like this, but that's literally all I can remember. As COVID struck, my friends all dragged me headfirst into other video game fandoms and media. And I kind of forgot about Twist. Until 2022, when I heard the words Disney dating sim across my TikTok. Now, I didn't actually forget about Twist. I still remembered watching, one of the only videos out about it. And I remember randomly picturing the thumbnail here and there, thinking, I wonder what happened to that. Googling it, learned it only released in Japan, and deciding bootlegging a fan translation of a video game wasn't worth it. So when the news hit me that it was officially out in English, I didn't walk, I ran. I ran like I was being chased down by Volcut. I ran like there were magical fire flowers by me. I ran like fellow Honest was in front of me. Sorry, that was a little bit off topic. Anyways, I ran to that game. I wanted to play it the second it released. I played the moment it dropped in English. Now, I suffer with really bad OCD, so it took me a long time to get through, the whole thing. Because, randomly it would tell me I had to replay an entire book, and I'd be like, okay, guess I gotta do that. Don't worry, I started OCD therapy now. But it took me a long time to get through the whole game, but with all the bonus prizes for finishing, I officially played every single book released in English, besides a few different events that I've missed. And I have to say, this is the best thing Disney's released in years. I'm not being overdramatic, Encanto was great, but what else has Disney made that didn't suck recently? Yeah, exactly. And I think everyone agrees that the reason why modern Disney sucks is because it's really had the magic sucked out of it. But this isn't a video to talk about why Disney sucks and how they need to improve. No, this is a video to praise Twisted Wonderland for capturing the Disney magic again. So, grab some popcorn, cookies perhaps, maybe some macaroons, get some water, you need to hydrate, sit back, and welcome to the villain's world. Now, I'm going to try and avoid spoilers in this, I'm not going to give a play-by-play, but there are a few things that to explain, I'm kind of going to have to give a little general explanation, so be warned if you haven't played the game. There are some, light spoilers, but nothing that's going to ruin the gameplay for you. So we already talked about how you play as the main character, a faceless character unlike that of many other games, that even if they let you play as yourself, still grant you some sort of MC to put a face to. Now, Twist is completely open to letting anyone imagine the MC however they want. I've seen male, female, young, old, every race, every sexuality, every option turn into an MC by fans. The MC does very little to impact the story, as the ending of each book is preset, but the MC does have a little ghost camera, which are used to take photos of the main cast throughout their adventures at Night Raven College. These photos are the cards you collect fight with, by the way. The MC also has the classic Disney talking animal sidekick, who is usually a stand-in for the player in all the promotional videos, as the player is meant to be behind the camera in all of these. Now, I'm not going to talk much about Grimm. The fandom either seems to love him or hate him. I want to love him. I really do want to love him. I'm sorry. I'm sure I will someday, but today's not that day. However, every other character? Those are some good characters. Now, I'm not going to psychoanalyze every character, as that would take forever. However, I would be willing to do an 8-part series where I analyze each dorm and the event characters. Just saying. You know, if there's a demand for that. But I will go over some of the things Twist does right with their characters. One of the main things being that each character has character. Now, I know what you're thinking. That's kind of a ridiculous statement to make. Shouldn't all characters have character? But think about it. How many pieces of media do you have to make up your own backstories for your favorite characters? Because they really didn't get much. Like, anything. How many characters are known for having the personality of a piece of paper? Which is a shame because their designs are so nice. Right? You get what I'm getting at? Now, you might think that Twist had it easy making these characters because every character is, well, based on a pre-existing character. But here's the thing. What personality do the colored soldiers in Alice in Wonderland have? Okay. And what about the poisoned apple? What personality does that have? Okay, now what about Scar? Well, most people remember him as the rebellion lion that would do anything to get power. But a lot of people forget that he received that power by convincing the hyenas that he'd be able to end the famine, and instead once the hyenas helped him rise to power, he only made the famine worse for everyone, as he only cared about the title and not the responsibilities or the promises he had made. Much like a lot of modern political figures. This, of course, is why seeing the hyenas eat Scar at the end is so satisfying. Now, none of us want to see Leona get eaten. So, what do they do to fix this pre-given personality? Simple. They gave him depression. No, for real. They gave Leona a valid reason for his laziness. They switched not caring to not having the energy or motivation to do whatever is needed. We see he's capable. We know he's smart. We know he's athletic. We know he could be great if he had the motivation to do so. And most importantly, he didn't kill his brother and leave his nephew for dead. Wow, the bare minimum! This same process is used for a lot of the characters. They give them a valid reason, or at least an understandable reason, for their bad traits, and then add on some good ones. Is Kylo an airhead? Yes. But he only acts so cheerful and reckless because he never knows when his last day on Earth is gonna be, with all of the assassination attempts he's faced. There's Malleus, spoiler Maleficent. I'm trying not to spoil things here. Yes. But it's not out of spite of a child's christening he wasn't invited to. It's a gift his lonely self thinks would be good for everyone. Is Vil a jealous man? Yes. But it's all because of years of being treated as second best, knowing no matter what he did, he could never truly reach the top, as well as deep-set insecurities from only being cast as a villain. He was typecast so often he began believing these things, which of course only makes later villainous actions more tragic. By giving us reasons we as an audience can relate to, or at least understand, this game about villains can suddenly make us feel sorry for these characters, even if most of them have attempted murder, committed theft, or just generally not the best people. But what happens when the fandom decides that these crimes are unforgivable? Well, welcome to the curse of the Halloween event character. For some reason, in almost every Halloween event, the fandom decides that the new character's actions are unforgivable. Now, I will warn, this small rant may have some spoilers for the Halloween events, but they are not part of the main story, so I promise I'm not ruining the game for you at all. I think Scully is the only character to escape this curse by the fandom. Like, people started to get concerned when he did a certain something, but then everyone basically just forgave him and moved on. Like, everyone treats him like a baby boy that can do no wrong, despite turning people into pumpkins and drugging the Pumpkin King. Yeah. Apparently, fandoms can just forgive drugging if you're an autistic baby boy that doesn't know any better. Seriously, this fandom has a problem with infantilizing the autistic-coded characters. Like, a really big problem with that. Anyways, but our two biggest contenders for the Halloween event curse are Roller Flam and Fellow Honest. Roller Flam is quite clearly based on Frollo, who is a sexist, racist, misogynistic, ableist asshole. So clearly Roller's crimes must be only, based in hatred, right? Actually, he just wants to rid the world of magic due to traumatic past with magic. He's like Zora from Epithet Erased, but with trauma. So why is it the cosplayers are being harassed for cosplaying him again? When he has, like, none of the traits of Frollo? That's right, because for once the Twist fandom forgot to separate the Twist character from the source material. Yeah. So now what about Frollo? Well, to be blunt, he is a literal human trafficker. I won't spoil how, but that's all you really need to know. It's kind of obvious from the very get-go of the event, so I don't feel like that's a spoiler. Well, we obviously can't forgive that crime because... What? The fandom often looks over why he does what he does, which of course is something you should never look over. Frollo and his brother Gittle's reasons for their crimes is that they had no other choice. I won't, again, get into the whole backstory. I'll be doing that in another video. But they had to keep doing their crimes to keep from kicking, okay? Now, I'm not going to completely analyze every action of theirs, not in this video, but we do have to understand what their story is all about elitism and Twisted Wonderland, and how those who suffer the most under a system will do anything, no matter how illegal, to keep themselves afloat. It's interesting, right? Too bad everyone in this dang fandom won't listen after they hear the name Frollo because, oh no, he's a bad character. We don't support bad characters. Hate to break it to you, buddy, but half these characters have attempted murder. 2 of them are trying to take over the world, and other have crimes that are so specific to who they are, I can't say it without spoiling the plot. But the fandom seems to do a pretty bad job at understanding how to, read critically. But the creators still made amazing characters. Now, what about the biggest selling point? The plot. Well, the plot is hard to explain without spoiling things greatly. But I will say the plot is very entertaining, not just because it's good, but because it's the only piece of Disney media in recent times that understands the points of the original movies. Stories about how jealousy corrupts, the need for connection, how one can never be too far gone for forgiveness, how property damage can be okay sometimes. These are the messages behind your favorite Disney movies that Disney itself seems to forget. But Twist portrays these stories perfectly. I see so many people online like, oh my god, this is so dark. How did Yana convince Disney to do this? And the answer is, I don't know how she convinced modern Disney to do this. But these are classic Disney plots. Before Disney became wimps. Anywho, I think this really covers everything. However, there is so much to talk about with Twist. I love people to go into detail about the characters and books, being able to go over spoilers as well, if y'all be interested in that. So let me know. Again, this is my first video, so I apologize that the audio is kind of weird, and yeah, that's all. Here are some of my social media handles if you want to follow me. See some more of my art that I don't have in this video. And that's all. God bless y'all, and have a great day.